Hello YouTube, it's PH Gaming Scotland here and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are well and gaming lots. So in today's video I'll be talking about another gaming topic. So in today's video I'll be talking about my own personal experience with the dreaded gaming backlog. I'll be talking about my own personal gaming backlog, why I've got one and maybe ways to improve it in the future. So that being said, before we get into this video, let me know your thoughts about your own personal gaming backlog down below in the comment section. But without further ado, let's jump into today's video about my personal experience with my gaming backlog. So, my gaming backlog, why have I got one? Well, to put it simply, I love buying games. I think it's very addictive to buy new releases, indie titles and the like, but in order to get hyped for a game, I like to look at, well, first of all, I like to know when games are coming out in any given month. Now obviously under the current circumstances, release dates aren't set in stone and games can be delayed at any time. It doesn't have to be within a massive pandemic, etc. I like to have a rough idea of, for any given month. For example, April we had Resident Evil 3 remake, Final Fantasy 7 remake and a couple other games in between. Predator Hunting Grounds at the end of April, for example, to name just a couple of games. But what I like to do is have a list of maybe 10 games that I have my eye on, as well as games that I'm going to get day one, which leads on to the next question of, am I going to play this game on day one or am I going to wait for a sale for the game? Now if you don't know, I'm a massive trophy hunter and collector, so I'm buying games, I'm probably more than the average person. Majority of my games I'm buying to actually play in platinum. There's the odd game where I'm buying that I know myself that I'm never even going to play, maybe keep it sealed or what have you. That's a whole different topic as being a collector. Sometimes make you buy even more games than what you're intending to buy. But that being said, I always ask the question of, am I going to buy the game? And if not, so being a trophy hunter, I love chasing platinum trophies and getting trophies in general. Getting trophies in general are so addicting, and I'm a trophy hunter at the end of the day because, in my opinion, being a trophy hunter makes you experience parts of games that you wouldn't necessarily go and play, because most people probably finish the story and move on to the next game, whereas I play the story probably multiple times. I get all the collectibles, I get all the hidden secrets and items and games, and to me that is money well spent. You get more value out of the games that you play by being a trophy hunter and going after platinum. So that's one tangent that I'm going on. So what really I'm getting at here is I buy a lot of games. So basically, going back to the whole backlog, I've got a backlog because I love buying games. So the games that I buy on day one I try and play, and also because I'm a trophy hunter, I got a lot of platinums in the last couple of years. So I got about 30 platinums or thereabouts in the last couple of years, which is probably a lot to some people, maybe not a lot to others. But at the end of it, I was actually shattered about trying to go for 2 platinums a month every month, and that eventually I got to the stage where I didn't want to play games because of burnout and what have you. So I thought this year I'm going to have a rough idea of what games are coming out when. So buy games at launch, as well as buying games on a sale, or hopefully by the time I finish one game at a time, the Game of the Year edition will be out for said game that I'm really looking forward to, and I will probably get it at a cheaper price, so a win-win. So that being said, this year I've been denting the backlog quite a bit, January, February, March sort of time, and also most summers I like to dent into the backlog, as the 2 periods of the year are the quieter periods in the gaming industry in terms of releases. There's a lot of games don't release over the summer versus at the start of the year, that they're quieter months, so that's quite good. I feel a sense of accomplishment when I'm seeing that backlog gradually going down, but I know in the back of my head games or ones that I'm wanting are in the process of releasing will see that backlog grow again, and even more than probably what it was before, which is kind of annoying. So this year I'm focusing on buying one game at a time, playing the game there and then, going for the trophies and platinum. Ideally, not all games I'm playing or I have played in the past I've been able to get the platinum for whatever reason, but every game I play I try and platinum. Not always, this is my own personal gripe, but seeing that game with the trophy list on PSN at 1% pretty much basically means that for me as a trophy hunter I have to at least try and get the platinum in every game that I play. Because I look back at my old PS3 games on PSN, not a lot of them are platinums, and that really irritates me. That's just my own personal thing. For me, it irritates me, gives me anxiety about, hopefully I'll get the chance to go back to PS3 and get those platinums as well. That's just my own personal wee gripe, that's just my own personal thing. But anyway, I'll show you at the end of this video my own personal backlog from my own Instagram account. You don't have to follow me there, but I would appreciate the follow at PH3 Gaming Scotland. It's at the end of all of my videos at PH3 Gaming Scotland. So basically the Instagram account is more of a behind the scenes of my personal gaming collection, as well as insight into my gaming related travel experiences, whether that's going into gaming museums or retro game shops from cities around the world that I like to visit, landmarks or whatever it is, or just visiting gaming conventions and the like. So if you want to follow me over on Instagram, that would be really cool, especially during this current climate. Tangent number 2, I have been continuing to post weekly over here on YouTube, and also I'm trying to post weekly over on Instagram just over this current period, as I like to try and keep up to date and being regular with my content. So once I have a rough idea of when each game's coming out, I either buy the game at launch or wait for a sale or a Game of the Year edition for the other games that I'm interested in. So lastly, now I'm going to talk about ways, or a way in which I try and combat the dreaded gaming backlog. So for every game I play, I can't just put it straight on the shelf. It has to be put in a pile next to my bed where I keep all my unfinished games, almost as like a daily reminder of, yes, you've bought all these games and you've not finished them. So hopefully that motivates me to try and get that backlog down, either at quieter periods of time or times in between releases for big games. And it is working, it has been working, but again, I love buying games. I love getting all hyped up about all my biggest games releasing and trying new games and what have you. So this has been a video about my own personal experience with my gaming backlog, why I've got one, and ways to try and combat the gaming backlog. As always, let me know your thoughts down below of your own gaming backlog, or what games you really want to play or haven't started or haven't platinumed yet. I love to hear and read all your comments. By now you will have seen the photo of my gaming backlog from Instagram. Some of them games in that list are games, most of them I've finished but haven't platinumed, and there's a couple in there that I've not even started yet, like Horizon Zero Dawn, Shenmue 3 and Final Fantasy 7, to name just a couple of games, or 3 games there. But anyway guys, that has been the end of today's video about my own personal gaming backlog. If you want to know more stories about my own personal gaming experience or other videos like this, by all means let me know. You'll get full credit in the video description now, and I will shout out your channel if I decide to actually go and make a video on said topic that you've suggested to me. But anyway guys, that is the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I've been PH Gaming Scotland, and I'll see you on another video. Thanks very much indeed guys, bye bye.